All right, we're winding down our list, and in our top 10 submissions for MMA, we have number 2, the guillotine. We just call it a front naked choke in catch wrestling, old school terms, right before they start renaming everything. Doesn't matter what you call it, it's essentially a choke from a front headlock. There's not a ton of variation to it. Your body orientation is pretty much always going to be a north-south orientation, face down, and then you can finish it standing, seated, from the bottom, from the top, on your side, and that's kind of it. There's different grip variations, there's arm in variations and stuff. We're not going to worry about that today. We're going to keep it simple because the reason it's number 2 is the fact that it's so simple and people put themselves in danger of it all the time. So we're going to start with a simple standing variation, because a lot of times when you're dealing with MMA, people want to get in close to grappling range because they don't want to box it out with you, and they will literally duck their head to try to basically tackle you, which is a technique, but it's also highly risky, and anybody that's been grappling for any amount of time is gonna probably tie your head up, even if they don't get the choke. So we could be standing here, just boxing out or whatever, and if he just comes in low at me, all I have to do is back up. I don't have to fully sprawl him down to the mat. As long as I get the arm over, right, we're in a good position here. If I can take that chin strap, regardless, like if he's on this leg, that's fine. I can half halter him in position, and then from there, I can bring this in. Now, one thing that, mistake that everybody makes from here is that they want to start lifting, and his head just pops out, and that's no good for me. Right? I'm gonna keep my belly heavy on top of his head. I'm gonna walk my hips in and squeeze. Flex, constrict. It works a lot better, and it's a really fast tap. Now you'll also notice that I didn't go super deep on it. Yes, you can do these with the V of the elbow, just like a rear naked. Hard to get in that position, so oftentimes you're gonna end up kind of bar strangling them, choking them, just right across the windpipe. And that's fine, that works out, and you can kind of double it up with neck cranks. We have fancy grips for like bar strangles and stuff too in catch wrestling. Again, we're not gonna get into that right now, but it's a super simple choke to catch. If you can get it deep, great. If you can't, don't worry about it. The air choke is super uncomfortable. It's just gonna feel like it's taking their head off. Just remember to walk your hips in, don't lean back. Now our other variation that we're gonna look at is maybe if we're down on the ground, we ended up in a scramble somehow, whatever, and I find that I catch him in a cradle, kind of a near side cradle, getting him up on his side. We could end up in this position in any number of ways, right? I hook his leg, I hook his head, maybe I'm aiming to start, digging my knees in to mount him to whatever. But if I have his head in here, I can just run this a little bit deeper. This is super simple right here. I can grip and I can take the high elbow on this, and then I can just start rolling him. And it's in. It's a nice, super simple choke. It's right there. Just go from a chin strap, high elbow, and you're good. It's not saying he's not going to fight back. Of course he's going to fight back. But the point is that if you can get down on the ground and into some form of a cradle type position and start dropping punches on him, start ground and pounding, you can often find that chin strap. Or if he's just grappling with you, you can often find that chin strap anyway. Necks are easier to catch than you might think. That's why it's number 2 on the list. All right, so that's number 2, the guillotine or front naked choke. Like I said, there's not a ton of variation. There is some variation, but essentially north-south variation, both face down and constrict. That's really all there is to it. But if you have a particularly favorite variation, go ahead and leave that in the comments below, and we'll talk to you guys later. And stay tuned for number 1, the rear naked choke, the journey.
Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, give the dog a bone. You can follow us on our other social media accounts, and if you really like us, you can head over to Amazon and buy a shirt. You can also go over to Gumroad and purchase some of our instructional courses. All of the links will be provided and also on our website. If you happen to be in the Phoenix area, we would love to meet you. Come drop in for a class, even just to chat. And if you're looking for a new home, we would be happy to have you. So until next time, good journey.